Dear students, I'm sorry because electricity interrupted the previous recordings, and now I continue again. Now at slide 6, the alliteration. The first literary devices we are discussing is alliteration. And what is alliteration? As I said in the previous record, it is a matter of repeating the same consonants at the beginning of words in a certain context. Now here, slide 7, as explained, slide 8, using the sound F in Macbeth. Here is an example. Using the sound F in Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 1, fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air. What is the value of, or what is the benefit of alliteration in literary works? Advantages of alliteration in language. Alliteration focuses readers' attention on a particular section of the text. When you see this F is repeated in every word, you focus on it. Alliterative sounds create rhythm and can affect mood and can have particular connotation. It can affect mood. How it can affect mood? You know, some letters have certain effect on our moods. Some strong letters, like for example, ja, and for example, if you think about certain letters in Arabic, ja, jarrar, jaish, jarima, you find this sound is very strong and it creates in your mind something which is not nice. Jarrar, jaish, jarima, okay? So this is the effect of sounds. In English, the sound S, for example, here, suggests something like snakes, something dangerous. So sounds have an effect in our moods, on the reader's mood, okay? So sound create rhythm, you know what's rhythm, and that affect the mood and can have particular connotation. Connotation is something which is not literary meaning of the word and which is not the literary understanding of the word, but something around it, okay, something behind the word. This is the connotation. When you say you feel that this is something dangerous, for example, or something strong, or in English, when you say is, it means something, it's implying slyness and danger, and so on. So this is the effect of alliteration. It affects mood, it affects feeling, and so on. Onomatopoeia, another type of figurative language. What is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia words whose sound suggests its meaning. Like when you say buzz, bees, the insect, bees are buzzing. Here the word buzzing is, it's the sound, it's similar to the sound of bees. When I say a cat is meowing, actually the cat says meow, meow, meow. So when I say a cat is meowing, this is the word for which represents the sound of the cat. Okay, so you use it to express the sounds of a cat. So it is called it is called onomatopoeia, which means using words similar to the sounds of creature or of any action. Now click the button to take a picture. Now click the button, you say click. So this is the click of the button to take a picture. The pig squealed. Pig, you know the animal, the pig squealed when it saw a dog coming. Squealed. This represents the sound of squealing. If you just put on YouTube pig squealing or pig squeal, okay? And you listen to it, you find it similar to the word squeal. You see? So just listen to it on the YouTube. You find it similar to the letters of squealed. Okay? Now here is the link. Use this link to listen to the squealing of a pig and buzzing of bees. Now, a third type is simile. What is simile? Simile is a type of comparison. You compare something to another, maybe two concrete objects, maybe two abstract objects, or an abstract object with a concrete object. Sorry, you should use words like, or as. Examples of simile: she was as active as a bee. As active as a bee. Let's continue. It's the interruption of electricity. It always interrupts me. Okay, again, simile is comparing two things to each other. Maybe a concrete thing and abstract thing, or two concrete things, or an abstract thing and a concrete thing. Okay, you should use the words like and as. To set the comparison, you should use the words like and as, and you have to focus on this point because we will have something else in another situation. Now, she was as active. Again, it is the electricity. She was as active as a bee. The student was as quiet as a mouse. He is as cunning as a fox. You see, the fox is always known as a cunning animal. He was as cunning as a fox. Okay. Now, metaphor is a kind of simile, but it's stronger. It gives a stronger meaning because you don't use the words like, or as. What is metaphor? Metaphor is a figure of speech stating that two things are similar, but it does not use the words like or as. It does not use the word like or as. Okay? Metaphor examples. Here are examples. The strawberry was a fresh summer day. The strawberry was a fresh summer day. No like or no as. The rain came down in full cold buckets. The rain came down in buckets. You know what is a bucket? Is a vessel, Jordan. In full cold buckets, which means that it was very, very heavy. It was not drops, but as a full cold buckets. This is what we mean. This is what a writer wants to communicate, that the rain was very heavy. Imagine it in your mind. The test was as a long, never-ending marathon. You know, marathon is running race. Okay, so the test was a long, never-ending marathon. It means it was a very, very long marathon, and it was like a test in which someone has to concentrate and to use all of his mental power to do it. So long and needs a lot of concentration. A test was as long as a never-ending marathon. She read the book at a snail's pace. You know, the snail, it's a very slow animal. Okay, the snail's pace, it moves very slowly. So she reads, sorry, you should have S here. She reads the book at a snail's pace. Okay, snails walk very slow. Here I want to express someone's slowness. Okay, this is the value of metaphor. Imagine he was reading as if she was a snail walking very, very slowly. So imagine it in your mind. This is the value of using metaphor. What is the difference between simile and metaphor? I told you both simile and metaphor are used to make comparison. This is first. The difference between simile and metaphor is that similes use the words like and as to set the comparison between things. Life is like a running river. Life, you see, is like a running river. This is simile. In contrast, metaphors directly states a comparison. Life is a running river. It means that life is always, what's the meaning we want to communicate? Life is always changing, like running water in a river and carrying new water. Life always carries new things. This is the idea I want to communicate, and it is running fast, also like water in a river. So you can elicit many meanings. Everyone can understand it in the way he wants, or he understands it in his own mind. And it also depends on the context, how to understand something. Here are some examples of simile and metaphor. Children are, now I want you to find the difference. Children are like a bunch of colored flowers. This is simile, because we use the word like. Children are a bunch of colored flowers. This is metaphor, there's no like. Advantages of metaphor. Metaphor allows writers to convey, now it has an advantage for writers and it has an advantages for readers. Metaphor allows writers to convey vivid imagery that transcends literal meaning. Now it's behind transcends, it's behind literal meaning, creates images that are easier to understand and responds to literary language. Metaphor language activates the imagination. You see, it activates the imagination and enables the reader to convey emotions and impressions through more effectively. It allows building strong and vivid relation between the compared methods. Hyperbole, a new device. What is hyperbole? Hyperbole is exaggeration. Exaggeration. Example of hyperbole: I ate 5,000 pancakes. Nobody can do that. So it's a matter of exaggeration. The bag of gift weighs a ton. Nobody can carry a ton. So this is exaggeration. Okay? Personification, another literary device. Personification. Personification is a matter of metaphor, but in what way it is different? Personification means to give human characteristics such as emotions, movement, behaviors, and non-human things, animals, and ideas and concepts. Here are examples. Here are examples of personification. You see here, it wants you to highlight the personification examples in each. The stars danced in the night sky. The stars danced. Stars stars dance? Are they people? Are they human beings? Of course, no. But when I say the stars dance in the night sky, I give the characteristics of a human being to stars. It is a type of metaphor too, but it is personification, particularly because we use the movement or the dancing of human beings and give it to the stars. The old and the tattered house looked depressed. Depression is a type of feeling which is suffered by people. Okay, so the house cannot be like a human being, but now we take a human being feeling or a human being characteristics to add it to the house. So it is a matter of personification and a metaphor. The wind howled during the rainstorm. You know, howling is the voice of wolves. You know, howling is the voice of wolves. So it is an animal. It is a living thing. So you add it to the wind, which is something not living, non-living thing. Okay. The wind howled during the rainstorm. So it was very awful, like wolves howling. Time flies. Time is not a bird. Flying is the characteristics of a bird. Time flies when you are having a great time. So you see, time cannot fly. So you take the characteristic of a living thing to give it to non-living thing. Okay. Their life passed by so quickly. Life does not pass by. Okay. The phone blurted out a loud ringing. The popular toy flew. A toy does not fly off the shelves during the holidays. The popular toys, when you buy toys for your children, it means that people have bought a lot of toys, so the shelves became empty. So, however, fly, toys don't fly, and so on. The thunder growled in the night. Also, when you say the thunder grounded, this is an animal voice. Okay, thunder is not a living thing to ground. Strawberries smiled. Strawberries is the fruit. Okay, smiled like a human being. The strawberry smiled with juiciness. So this is what we mean by personification. And here again, we repeat the examples. Okay, this is enough for today. Next time, we'll discuss the, okay, now still the last point, which is idioms, and next time we'll discuss the exercises. Now, idioms, what are idioms? What is an idiom? Idiom, a phrase that has meaning different from the dictionary definition. Okay. Idioms examples. Now, I want you to remind you of some idioms in Arabic. We say, for example, titi titi زي ما رحتي زي ما جيتي. Here we mean that you don't do something useful. Okay, but we use these words, زي ما رحتي زي ما جيتي. Okay, but we don't mean the literal meaning. We say that you haven't done anything. Okay. So in English, she did not want to open that can of worms. Worms, you know, they're very small animals. Okay, very small insects, by the way, not okay. It is a type of animal. It is used to express thoughts, which is a thought which means not to get into something that is messy, problematic, has problems, and is unwanted. I don't want بديش افتح الشباك اللي بيجيك من الباب الشباك اللي بيجيك منه الريح سده واستريح. Okay, so it is, as you say, I don't want to start something messy or causes me problems. This is what we mean by she didn't want to open that can of worms. Or we mean something is complicated, it's complex, and involves a lot of problems and hassle. Okay, the test was a piece of cake. It means very easy. was very easy. Don't take the fall for your friend. Don't follow the mistakes of your friend. Don't make advantages of the mistakes of your friends. The early birds get the worms. Early birds. Now, you know, birds eat worms, the small insects on trees and in the ground and everywhere. So the early bird gets worms. Now, people who start working early can get good results. So birds which go to find their food, the ones who start first can find the worms and eat them, while the ones who start late cannot find the worms. This is what we mean that always start your work early. Okay, this is the end for this lecture. Actually, it is put in 2 videos after each other, and next lecture, inshallah, we'll discuss some exercises to practice the figurative language. Thank you very much.